Hi, Tru Wonder team. That's our ages 5 through 2nd grade rooms. Here with your update for the weekend of February 29th through March 1st. Can't believe it's almost March. Spring will come. So this weekend we're starting a new unit, I guess you can say, and we're kicking off with Daniel, the book of Daniel, chapter 3, verses 1 through 30. So we're focusing on Daniel's friends, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, in the fiery furnace. Our ponder point this weekend is that God protects us. So our explore activities are actually kind of focused on building statues, because Nebuchadnezzar had erected this 90-foot statue of himself that he wanted everybody to worship. And we certainly can't build a Lego statue 90 feet tall in our classroom. In fact, 90 feet, I'm pretty sure, would be taller than the church. Just guessing. And so we can talk about, these are things that we have made, and God is not something we can make. God has made us. Just that, there was a time when people would just make things and worship them as God, and that was wrong, and that actually made God a little jealous, and he didn't like that. But these three men stayed true to the fact that there was one true God. He was the only one worthy of worship, not something that had been made by human hands. We have a new verse this weekend. We are going to be in Ecclesiastes chapter 4, verses 9 through 10. And it's 2 are better than 1, because they have a good return for their labor. If either of them falls down, one can help the other up. And I love how, this is true in our homes, in our workplaces. It's especially true in our classrooms here, where we have each other's backs. At least I hope you do. I know that Dawn, Elena, and I have your back, and we will help you up if you need it. So that'll be our verse for the next few weeks. Our wardrobe this weekend is going to have a lighter inside. So just make sure that you don't let the kids play with that. We really want to make sure that we keep them safe. But there is a lighter just because there's fire in our story. So again, we had this 90-foot statue. Nebuchadnezzar says, hey, everybody needs to bow down and worship this when they hear the trumpets. And if you don't, I'm throwing you in the furnace. And these three men, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, who were Israelites but had been captured and were brought into, I think it's Babylonia. And because they were intelligent and they were brought to know, they were taught in these ways, they were serving the king. And they still refused to follow his orders because it went against their faith and what they knew was right. And so that is something that even our kids are going to face. There are going to be people who are trying to tell them that their faith is wrong and they need to go a different way. But we want these kids to be rooted in knowing what is true, and that it is good to stand up for it. And that God protects those who do. And this is such a miraculous way that he did. So Nebuchadnezzar was so infuriated by their disobedience that he actually had the furnace made even hotter than it was. So hot that the men who threw them in there, they burnt up. But Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, as they were in the furnace, Nebuchadnezzar could see them and a fourth man walking around in the flames. And when they came out, they didn't even smell like smoke. The smoke, the fire couldn't even touch them because God had so wonderfully protected them. So, our craft this week, they're going to have a piece of paper and they can glue the little orange, red, and yellow tissue paper on there. And especially for the older kids, they can even wrap that around the eraser part of a pencil, and it makes the tissue paper stand up and look a little bit more three-dimensional. But again, if you are following your small group bins, then you should have glue sticks in all of your rooms, and you should be ready to go with this. All right. May you just know that God is with you, that He protects you from things seen and unseen, and that you can trust Him. I will see you this weekend. Bye.